Hello, I am Brian Timothy Mitchell, and I thank you for peeking in on my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, feel free to do so, and also give it a like if you like. If you don't like, give it a thumbs down. You see, that's how that works. It's binary, up or down. You choose. But choose wisely. Speaking of choices, I want to talk about Infernal Fall today. It's my debut novel. It came out 2 years ago. It won the Rim Award for Best Christian Horror. It was actually a combined category of Best Horror, Best Supernatural, and Best Paranormal, Supernatural, Horror. Got lost somewhere in there. Anyways, it won an award, so I'm excited. So it's a modern-day retelling of Dante's Inferno. I want to read the back cover copy because it's been a while. Let me see if I can do this as well as James L. Rubart reads the audiobook, which is on sale Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com and other online retailers. There is only one way out of hell. Daniel Strong is a troubled young man with only one bright spot in his life. His girlfriend, Christine. He hopes to propose to her on a hike in the mountains, but a mysterious artifact in a dark cabin ruins his plan. Things quickly go downhill. Literally. As handling the keystone causes Daniel to fall straight into hell, leaving Christine behind. A soul-harvesting demon tells him the only way out is through, that he must go to Satan and bargain for his freedom. But the shadow man responsible for leaving the keystone behind tries to show him there's another way out. Against his better judgment, Daniel finds himself listening to the demon's claims that appealing to the master of the underworld himself is his only choice. Remember, thumbs down, thumbs up. Choose life or choose death. As the unlikely group traverses the many levels of hell, hurt, anger, and fear hound Daniel, reminding him how hopeless his efforts truly are. All Daniel can do is push forward in hopes of making it back to Christine. Will Daniel heed Christine's words to choose life, or will he succumb to the lies pulling him down with every step? Infernal Fall is a modern twist on the classic tale Dante's Inferno. Grab your copy today and embark on a harrowing tale of light versus darkness and discover if there truly is only one way out of hell. So this book is my first one. I enjoyed reading it and writing it. I wrote it first before I read it, I promise you. No AI involved here. So Daniel obviously is a central character to the story. He acts as the Dante, and Christine is his Beatrix. The rest of the characters are kind of debated on. I think of Heartless Charles as the untrustworthy guide. He's kind of like Virgil. He knows his way around, but you can't really trust him. But other folks see Beau more as Virgil because he's more trusting and he wants what's best for Daniel. Neither of them are poets, I should say, right out the gate. Not the gate to hell. I haven't been there. Figuratively, maybe. But no. Anyway, back to these characters. So Heartless Charles is probably my favorite character in the book because he's just so cynical and funny. I like Beau. He's sentimental and he wants to do good things. He wants to write things. He wants to solve problems. Daniel's on an adventure to find out what's going wrong with him and what he needs to do to get back on track with God. And a lot of that has to do with decisions he made in the past. So the decisions are a part of this story. Choosing life or choosing death. If you choose death, oftentimes you're kind of choosing the dark path. Don't go to the darkness. choose life. Choose life. Choose the things that leads you closer to God. So, yeah, it took me years to get this novel right. I started writing it while I was in Iraq. And I had no real knowledge of writing a novel. I've written many 5-paragraph essays, and I've written everything I needed to in school. And as a college student, I've done 30-page papers and stuff like that. I felt like I could write, but writing a good novel, just following along some things that I've read on craft and thinking of the hero's journey as some kind of blueprint to get it done wasn't quite cutting it for me. I needed a little bit more help. So I got to learn more about the craft from editors and other writers. I took a novel writing intensive with Robert Dugani and Stephen James, and that really set me on a good path. But it wasn't just that. There are other authors who gave me plenty of advice that really changed the game for me. Because back in Iraq, when I was writing the novel, I was pushing the characters around, telling them where to go, telling them what to do. But eventually I figured out that you don't need to do that. It's better to let the story unfold and let the logic and the physics in the story world take place naturally, rather than you defy things, acting as if you're an all-powerful wizard over your characters. It's better to take yourself out of the story. Once I learned that, things started looking up for me. I had a hard time finding representation for this book. It's a Christian horror novel, so Christians are like, and horror fans are like, It's a very niche group there, but it's a good story, and it's not all about blood, guts, and gore. It's a dark fantasy adventure is the way I see it mostly, but it takes place in Dante's Inferno, and I think there's a lot of good in that. I was personally interested in what we thought of hell now compared to what Dante thought of it in his time, and that was a pretty fun adventure, and sometimes it wasn't easy, as you might imagine. Now, I didn't get any nightmares or feel really bad through the time of writing this. Now, going through this story as I was writing it, I just couldn't help but point out some of the good things that were taking place with the characters, not just the horrors of the world around them. So hopefully readers are picking up on that, and many have it. There's been reviews put out. Some of them are professional reviews, some are actual authors, and some of them are just fans of literature. And some folks I know, many I don't, which is really nice to know that people who don't know you enjoyed your work. It's always cool. You can see those on Goodreads and Amazon and other places as well, I'm sure. The process I took with writing Infernal Fall, that's the name of the book. I remembered. I only looked because I forgot the name of the book. I went about with an outline, and that was because I was still really new to the process, and also I was researching Dante's Inferno, and I had the 9 circles of hell, how many chapters was going to be in this circle of hell, in that circle of hell, what were the characters going to be facing, all that. So one thing I learned in this process is that you can't just expect 3 drafts to do it. You really should go over your work about 10 times or more, maybe 20 times, to really flesh it out and take away the bad and enhance the good places, and also fill in where you find there's a surprise waiting. And that's one of the parts that I really enjoy about writing. The rough draft can be kind of scary because you're going into no man's land, especially if you're not working with an outline. But during the revisions phase, that's where a lot of the magic really takes place, in my opinion. But it does happen in rough drafts too, so don't get me wrong. If you're thinking of being a writer, you have a story idea, I encourage you to push on. Maybe reach out to me. I can maybe give you some guidance. There's all kinds of resources out there available to you. I'm a part of Rim Makers. It's a community of Christian writers and artists who work together. We have a conference every year. We get together and we hear from some of the best folks in the business that helps us, encourages us, and enlightens us to do better. So maybe that's something you're into. If not, there's plenty of other conferences out there that fits you and what you're looking for. So anyways, if you are interested in Infernal Fall and you want your own copy, feel free to reach me on my website or any of the other online retailers that I have mentioned down in the description below. Thank you, and stay tuned for my next video. I'm going to talk about the 1-year anniversary of the sequel to Infernal Fall, Almost Paradise, which also won a REM Award for Best Supernatural. Did I mention that this one won an award? Did I mention that? Do you see the sticker? Do ya? Ain't it pretty? Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.